Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video and welcome to another spectating challenger. Today we're watching Cassiopeia for a couple reasons. So a bunch of people have said in the comments, Huz, you need to check out the Cassiopeia with Conqueror. Her healing is crazy. And I personally haven't really seen one, I don't think, in my own game. So I thought it would be a good idea to watch someone that's good at the champion, get an idea of it, and then maybe play it myself in a couple days' time. If you guys watched my own Heimerdinger episode with Conqueror, you definitely could see the strength of the rune. And it's not just the individual rune of Conqueror, it's also what the tree gives you. So it's, you know, it's an aggressive tree, the precision tree. So in essence, you're running a very aggressive tree with then Conqueror healing. And by the way, I think this is Cassiopeia bot lane against Heimerdinger bot lane. So we'll get a good idea, because we all know, if you did watch the video, we know how strong Heimerdinger is with Conqueror. So I normally don't like mages in bot lane, but this video isn't specifically about mages in bot lane. It's more just trying to see the strength level of the Cassiopeia, really, with Conqueror. So the lane itself is Cassiopeia Leona. You can see actually here, Cassiopeia is not in the bush right now. This might be on purpose, or they just don't really care. Or they're AFK. Apparently. There we go, we're back in the game. So yeah, it is a Bard with a Heimerdinger against a Cassiopeia and a thingy. Weirdly, the Bard has taken Barrier. I guess he is scared of getting all-in versus a Leona, therefore taking Barrier to have that little bit extra survival, question mark. Leona already Eing, knew the Bard was in the bush, and pretty much if you stand here, the Leona E will pretty much cover the whole bush. So far, positive trade for the red team. The Bard definitely took more health. Leona is saying on cooldown. We know Bard again is in here because there's nowhere else he can go right now. So if he keeps standing in this bush, you are practically going to give Leona free ease every now and then. Now, obviously, the strength of Heimerdinger, or one of his tower, his turret pushing in the early game especially, is crazy good. That Cassiopeia, in order to kind of match him in terms of pushing, she'd have to spam spells. And that's something that you don't really want to do, considering your mana pool will get burnt out, and then you can't trade with people. So, E coming through, misses, unfortunately, for the Leona. Again, Leona not bad into this lane. All-inning, I think, is going to be the priority for red team here. You know, especially at level 6, Leona E, stun, Q. One of them is dead on the enemy team, probably just from that combo combining with Cassiopeia damage. Remember, if she lands a good W after the stuns, it's not like they can then flash away, because they'll be grounded by Cassiopeia W. So it can work quite well in that respect. But again, like I mentioned, we know how good Heimerdinger with Conqueror is. I know his strength level personally, and he is not easy to take down. So if we just see a Cassiopeia absolutely out DPS a Heimerdinger and everything, I will be kind of surprised. Right, so another E, another failed attempt, unless she was just going for a bit of wave clear there. Don't think so, though. Heimerdinger does land. They're going for the all-in. Pretty low health is the Cassio. Does manage to survive Leona following the Bard E. And overall, that was a negative trade for red team. The Cassiopeia nearly dying, but doesn't quite. Heimerdinger definitely potentially overstaying. Graves, you can see, is going the long way round. And Leona is staying at full health. They clearly, obviously, focus the Cassiopeia, who does have teleport, teleporting in now. Leona making her way. Wouldn't be surprised if we're about to see a flash. Flash Q, flash E into the Q. Heimerdinger gonna die. There we go. First blood to the Leona with the ignite. And Bard will survive with the barrier. Nope, he will not. The Bard goes down, even though he barriered the poison, or whatever. I think it's a poison. The poison does kill the Bard in the end, which, you know, does make the argument, should he be having a barrier anyway? If it doesn't even save him, because it's a Cassiopeia poison that just outlasts the barrier survival, or the barrier length, maybe, you know, that Cassiopeia got pretty damn low from that initial engage. If the Bard had Ignite, maybe Cassiopeia would be dead, right? It's things like that you got to think about. Like, I personally would never take barrier on Bard. To me, that is counterintuitive to what you want to achieve on the champion. It's basically like taking, I don't know, it's hard to think on, you know, right on my head. It's like taking Ignite on Soraka, I guess. It's just something that you're not going to do. Taking barrier on Bard, to me, is something that I personally just wouldn't do, personally. And I know there's going to be people going, I take Ignite on Soraka. It's not something that you should be doing. Soraka, barrier on Soraka is good, because that's, you know, a champion that you just have to focus purely on surviving to do the most possible. You're not doing damage per se. Soraka can poke, but she doesn't need Ignite to do that, obviously. Right, so the lane slowly shifted into red team's favour, although has it really in the 2v2. Cassiopeia getting stunned again, but Heimerdinger misses. Grounded does the Heimerdinger go. You can see the damage. The Cassiopeia is nearly dying in a lot of these engages, and to be honest, the enemy team hasn't been putting full damage on. Like, the Heimerdinger has not been actually landing the stun turrets. He only has had 1 turret down. If it was 3 turrets with a grenade with the proc, the kind of beam proc, then the Cassiopeia would be dead. Hex Flash coming in, Cassiopeia coming in. You can see straight away what the enemy team is doing because the Leona has very little damage. Graves coming in though, once again. Heimerdinger is probably going to go down, does go down. Bards needs to be careful, doesn't go down in the end. But yeah, so you can see what's happening. Leona engages and both Bard and Heimerdinger instantly just turns to go for the Cassio because it's not really worth doing anything much to the Leona. She's not doing kill pressure, kill damage on you. So just turn on the Cassio, stop her damage output. But overall, it's not really working. And why is it not? Well, Graves, to be honest, has shown up time and time again already this game and has made the difference of a kill or not. You can clearly see the Nunu has affected both mid and top in a positive way. But remember, the meta isn't exactly mid or top. It's Dragon, and obviously Nunu is a champion that is very Dragon focused, as many of you will probably be aware. Yasuo going for a questionable, you know, it was an okay ultimate because of Nunu. Shen ultimate coming through. Zed, I presume, doesn't have ultimate. Shen missing his taunt, unfortunately. That probably would have been a dead Nunu if he had it. He might still be dead. Does go down. Bard flashing over the wall. Both of them go down in the end. Leona in the tower range will also go down. Graves has a nice flash. Will get the kill. Maybe not. In the end, Yasuo gets away with his passive proccing through the Ignite. And overall, that will be that fight overall done. Heimerdinger, this is a big mistake by him. Missing the grenade. Opens himself up to Cassiopeia. Going to go for an all-in. I definitely would. There's the Conqueror proccing and just murders the guy straight up. And that's for a couple reasons. So one, Cassiopeia damage isn't bad in the early game. Just takes a lot of mana out of the champion. Secondly, he was really overextended with no flash. And he missed his grenade. He had no tower set up at the time. So that was overall a really bad Heimerdinger play. And obviously what happens when a bad play, especially in Challenger, one bad play equals you're dead. He missed a grenade, he had nothing to fall back on, he had no flash, and now Cassiopeia kills him in a 1v1. Like, that's the thing. Like, so many people throughout the years have said, Huz, what's the difference between low and high rating? Like, the biggest difference. Mistakes. Not that, like, mistakes don't happen. Mistakes happen in every single rating. Mistakes happen in Challenger. Mistakes happen in Bronze or Iron. But it's more like what happens due to mistakes. Now, Leona's going to re-engage. Yasuo is on his way. Bard does a really nice ultimate to distract Heimerdinger. No, not Heimerdinger. Renekton's in the area. Heimerdinger towers over the thing. But this is what I'm talking about, literally. Mistakes are happening. Red team are making mistakes. And these mistakes get punished more than they do in low rating. In low rating, someone can make a mistake and someone may not know that was a mistake in the end. It's like, oh, that was a mistake. Oh, you could have killed them. You don't kill them. In high rating, especially in Challenger, in that situation, yeah, you're just dead. Like, if you make a mistake, you're going to die. That is the biggest difference. And obviously, yeah, it goes without saying, you know, clean play, mechanics, knowledge, sure. But apart from the very obvious stuff, it's 100%, what's the right way to say it? It's using the enemy's mistakes more than anywhere else. That is the biggest difference between low and high rating. So the game so far has been a bit of a fiesta. Cassiopeia is in an okay situation. She's getting a core kind of starting build going. Double Dorans, which is a good kind of just initial strength level. Heimerdinger's done the same. She's got a tier already stacking, and she's already got the item for Ludens, the book. You can clearly see the Heimerdinger is a bit behind right now. Gold-wise, he is holding only 700 gold. So he is, you know, quite clearly behind the Cassio at this state of the game. You can also weirdly see both supports. Unfortunate positioning by her. She does now get stunned in the end, and he will get away. But that was a nice either dodge by Heimerdinger or a unfortunate miss by Cassiopeia. Bard ult coming through. Bard is in the area. Leona misses her E. Bard's going to get flashed. Heimerdinger does an ult tower. Does just straight up get murdered. Leona most likely will kill the Heimerdinger, so it's a trade. Not for long. That will be a double kill for the Bard. Overall, and that was a time that, yeah, you can see Cassiopeia's lack of mobility does hurt. That is a weakness of the champion. She gets stunned by Heimerdinger, gets queued by Bard, gets ulted by Bard before that. There's nothing really she can do about that. She has no mobility. She burnt her flash going for that kind of aggressive ultimate play. Didn't really work out. She is teleporting back to lane though, however. But the benefit, I will say, of at least red team this game, because you guys know I'm not a massive fan of mage bot lanes. The only way that I generally like them is if you have a compensatory, like we have an AD like carry that we can fall back on, and generally a ranged AD carry. Like, you know, I wouldn't consider, oh, you've got Zed mid, that means you can play a mage bot. That's not for me, because AD mids a lot of the time are situational in what they can do, where an AD mid just auto attacks, they do a bunch of damage. But that's where in the obviously red team they've got Graves, right? He is a ranged AD champion, so in my book the advantage of team comp definitely goes onto red side favor, even though the comps are similar. But because both teams have AD mids, but one team has got ranged carry. You can see again, Leona's lack of mobility is really hurting her. Will just do a bunch of damage to the Heimerdinger, who is now 0 and 5. Can definitely see red team fighting this if they want to. Watch the Conqueror when it starts to procking. Hasn't procced yet. Leona going aggressive. Cassiopeia doing end of damage. Now Graves in the area. Going to go for the final kill on the Nunu. After this, I'd imagine Dragon's going to be taken. Graves coming in the area. Does pick up the kill. And really nice play. So they do a nice survival. They kill the Heimerdinger, who just literally cannot survive right now. This is questionable to me. He does buy the Merc Treads, though, but I imagine they will just go all in for this. So that is a straight away a dead Heimerdinger. Dude's having a bad game, but you can clearly see the weakness of both of these champions this game already has been their lack of mobility. Heimerdinger and Cassiopeia are oddly similar in those ways, and you know, both supports are kind of wanting to do the same thing as well. CC the enemy mage in bot lane, and they're doing it. The Cassiopeia is being CC'd a lot, but Leona just offers a bit more CC than the Bard, and the Heimerdinger is really getting punished for that, as with you know, the Cassiopeia damage. And I'd say the negative of especially Heimerdinger bot lane is setup time. So a setup time is something that you can't ignore with Heimerdinger. You need time to get the towers going. You know, you put them down. They don't activate instantly. They take like half a second to wake up. And something in bot lane where it's 2 people, and, you know, where 2 people can tunnel straight on a Heimerdinger, he can die basically before he can do anything. In mid lane, when it's a 1v1, yeah, you have more time. You know, it's not a 2v1 in mid a lot of the time. And if it is a 2v1, it's a jungler, and usually you see the jungler coming. Where in a pure 1v1, in bot lane, when it's a constant 2v1, Leona's jumping on you all the time. Cassiopeia's killing your towers all the time. I don't know, Heimerdinger can definitely get punished for that. And I will say, I don't think Heimerdinger bot lane is necessarily bad. I personally, Bard's going for a nice play. You can see clearly who the carry in this lane is, though. The Bard is having a great game. The Heimerdinger is just trying to take the ride, it seems. I don't think Heimerdinger bot lane is bad. I personally just don't think it's very good against other mages. I think it's probably decent. He does get killed in the end. I think it's probably decent against AD carries. That it can kind of like cheese its way through AD carries. They go try to take the tower, and they, auto attack the tower, and they take a bunch of damage in return. Well, Cassiopeia can just press Q on it and walk away, and it dies to the poison. Or Syndra bot lane can pick up the tower and throw it away, or just throw a Q on it, and there you go. They're going to go for a dive here. This is actually kind of questionable because the Bard's got not bad survival. Will go down in the end. Shen does survive. But I guess that wasn't questionable, maybe not, because there was Vision of Nunu in mid. If they didn't have Vision of Nunu in mid, that would have been questionable, but never mind. I just personally didn't see him straight away. Zed did go down, by the way, so this game is for a challenger game, incredibly high kills. Leona does a nice flank. Cassiopeia, unfortunately, part of her W gets blocked, but she will get the kill in the end, and Yasuo will go down. But this is a crazy kill game. For a challenger game on EUS, this is 33 kills overall in 14 minutes. It's nuts. You don't see this at all. I'm sure we all watch pro play every now and then, and in pro play, it's rare to see above 5 kills in the first 10, 15 minutes. Because, again, you value... if you're wondering why the higher rating you go, the less kills you normally see, I'm sure I've had that question before. It's because higher rating you go, and in pro play, the biggest value, or one of the biggest values, while Zed is going on the Heimerdinger, by the way, in bot lane will get killed, is guaranteed gold income. So guaranteed gold income is farm. You can get kill. You know you're going to get gold with farm. You don't know if you're going to get that kill, or it's a risk to go for that kill. Now Leona's coming in. Cassiopeia is coming in. Lovely W, lovely ultimate. Completely roots and stuns the enemy team. Working well together is red team now. They are starting to take over the game a little bit. But guaranteed gold income is why the higher rating you go, you see less crazy kill scores, because guaranteed income is gold, not kills. Kills are risky. kills, you know, make you farm less because you're being distracted trying to get a kill. So you are just wanting to farm in the early game in high rating and in pro play. So that's why you generally don't see a lot of kills in the higher ratings you go in pro play. So Bard is trying to escape. He won't escape completely. Presume he's going to die, and Cassio does get the kill credit there. Cassio now 6-3-7 versus a 1-8 Heimerdinger. And again, very similar. Neither are troll picks. Both are mage bot lanes. Heimerdinger, for God's sake, had amazing Worlds performances and even was getting banned out. It's specifically because of bot lane Heimerdinger. So Heimerdinger as a general pick in bot lane works, but like I mentioned, I think it does struggle a little bit due to aggression from a Leona, and it struggles, I think, versus other mages. If I had to take a wild guess, because it doesn't show me with the replay, I would presume Heimerdinger locked in first, and Cassiopeia, again, this is Hans Sama, by the way. I believe he is a pro player of some degree. Don't know, again, what position he plays, if it is an AD carry player, but I presume they specifically didn't counterpick with an AD carry, because that's what Heimerdinger wants. They counterpicked with a mage. And I think Heimerdinger just doesn't do as well with that. So there is a dragon, by the way, coming up in less than a minute. Graves, as you can see, is already on that side of the map. Don't know where Nunu is at this point. Near the mid, I would say. Well, the Heimerdinger misses his tower. Bard Q doesn't land the stun, and Cassiopeia will survive, but a lot of damage being taken there. She does have, Cassiopeia has completed her Ceres at this point. Leona now coming. Misses the E. There could be an ult coming through, but Heimerdinger does have flash over here, as you can see. And Cassiopeia does survive, at least for now. Zed will go down once again. It does seem, by the way, that Nunu might have a personal vendetta. Does go for a very weird ultimate, does the Cassiopeia. Gets stunned. Is going to get autoed a bunch. Will dodge the Bard ultimate. Heimerdinger. Oh, wow. Change of strategy by the Leona. They're going very aggressive. Going for the tower dive. Shen coming through. Ulting, actually, I'd say the wrong target, technically. And that actually will kill the Leona. They were, Shen ulted the target that wasn't tanking the tower. So, small mistake there, but overall it worked out. Yasuo does go down as well, I think, to the Graves. But yeah, I do think that the Nunu might have a personal vendetta to the Zed. He's only ganking the Zed. Also, the Nunu has an incredibly weird build for Challenger. Why is there a Hextech proto built in there? No idea. He's now trying to take over the dragon. He's going to try and kill it. Will kill it. Obviously, Nunu, the king of taking dragons. Nunu will not get the kill, but will get the dragon. And Cassiopeia is now 9-3-7. You actually can notice Leona's build, by the way. I presume the reasoning for this, while Cassiopeia now has double buff. Gargoyle second item. Zed going for an ultimate, hoping that the Renekton will turn to get the Cassiopeia in range. But yeah, the Leona's playing all in. So she's going Righteous Glory with a Gargoyle rush. That is a very all-in, I'm going to be really tanky, really fast to engage build. Cassiopeia does get the crab. There is a ward in there that they're not going to pick up just now. Leona might go for it, though. She does. Cassiopeia waiting around just in case the enemy team does go flank. They do. Bard does a nice dodge in the end. Cassiopeia just kind of zoning both of them a little bit. Renekton doesn't want to fully engage. Will, now that the Yasuo got his third Q, does get a free Whirlwind, and the Cassiopeia will go down for free. Now, though, the enemy team potentially is getting caught. Zed going to go for potentially the all-in a second. Does it a bit too late. They do get knocked up by the Nunu or whatever happened. Snowball, and they all will die in the end. Unfortunately for the enemy team, if only this was a minute later, Baron would be on the table right now. This actually could be a turn. Shen goes for a nice taunt. Nunu's going a bit too deep. Does heal a lot. Graves in the backline doing a bunch of damage. Nunu ulting. They are going to slow a lot. Yasuo going for a bit more damage return. Everybody on the enemy team is really low. Heimerdinger, meanwhile, is doing nothing. And that will be the fight overall. Shen goes aggressive. Does get a nice taunt. Graves just helping with the bomb. And Shen will go down, unfortunately, for him. Could maybe if the Graves played a bit more aggressive, possibly, but the Wind Wall obviously was a massive counter to the Graves auto attacks hero there. They are doing the Rift Herald second half. Heimerdinger now in mid lane by himself, potentially going to get caught, doesn't have flash available. Cassiopeia grounding the Heimerdinger, he will go down to her, now 10 kills. Item build very aggressive, and I completely forgot, by the way, the item that she bought was not for Ludens. I might have said that earlier. No, it was for Seraphs. Obviously, that is a tier, and the book now builds into a Seraphs, not necessarily Luden's Echo. Sometimes your mind, when you play League for a long time, slips into old item builds, because, they change over the years. And yeah, Huzzy Derp. So, Graves being quite low, Renekton flashing over the wall to escape. Graves continuing the aggression, even though he's very low health right now. And Cassiopeia will mosey her way down to the Renekton, taking the prio. Goes for an ultimate to slow him. Bardol coming through. Nunu with Predator. With a very weird build. does flash for the Graves. Heimerdinger now flanking with the teleport. Cassiopeia getting completely stun locked and will go down. So again, a bit messy for what the game is. Have to be honest, for a challenger game, is a bit messy. But Graves does survive, so that is a bonus of some degree. And obviously between the actual, you know, if you're comparing positions, it's not like the Cassiopeia is doing bad even with these couple weird deaths. She's still 10-5. 7, she's still 30 farm up her lane opponent, so she's still doing overall well. But when you're talking like, how do you climb Huz? You want to try and what is called min-maxing. In World of Warcraft, it's when you're balancing your stats. In League of Legends, you can do it with items as well, min-maxing, but it's when you're trying to like do the best you possibly can in your general play. Not dying whenever possible, getting that kill when it is possible. Stuff like that is very important. You have to min-max as well as you can. For example, Shen potentially dying there wouldn't have been good. Doesn't need to be there. It doesn't need to die there, but he doesn't at least. Stuff like that. You just got to kind of play as well as you can. You got to min-max as much as you can. Minimize your weaknesses and maximize your strengths, in essence. So, Cassiopeia's item build, now building a Zhonya. I'd say a very wise decision, considering most of Cassiopeia's death involve one... Well, in her modern death, she does go for an ultimate. Really nice turn by Nunu there. Don't know if that was just unfortunate timing by her or Nunu's a god. Again, this is Challenger, but she is also randomly walking into the tower. Doesn't die, though, because Heimerdinger's damage isn't too high right now. She is surviving just. Can she survive in the end? Yes. Heimerdinger not doing enough damage. By the way, Baron is being done right now. And as you can see, clearly, the Cassiopeia isn't going back, even though she's at very low health. Why? Because she knows where the enemy team's going. The Baron is being done. Oh, you got to kill that Nunu! Oh, that was so close. Nice ultimate by Yasuo. Will not do much with it, though. It is very low health. But yeah, why Cassiopeia has the gumption and the balls to stay, it's because the Baron's being done. The enemy team's panicking. Oh my god, with Cassiopeia has baited us. 2 people to here, including the jungler. Let's go to the Baron. So Cassiopeia knows she's about to be alone. She may as well, again, what have I said to you guys time and time again, maximize her gold income. She obviously wants gold income. Now, if you actually see there, Bard purposely, I believe, stood on Cassiopeia W. Unfortunate positioning there. Bard does a really nice play going on. Does go down in the end. So a couple of mistakes by Cassio. She should have backed off a little bit earlier. But that Bard did a really smart thing that a lot of people may not have noticed. Cassiopeia W went down. Bard purposely walked into it to get tower aggro to go on the Cassiopeia. It's little things like that you don't notice, but it means a lot. It means a lot in the big run and in the long run, and they're tiny little things that most people wouldn't have noticed too. And I can guarantee, by the way, the Bard did that on purpose. That wasn't, oh yeah, no, he was just walking on it. No, you saw he was out of it. He walked back on it to get her aggro. I think he didn't even auto attack at that stage. He literally just walked back on it purposely for the tower aggro. Again, it's the little things. Little things add up. So Nunu going to take the dragon again. Not much that red team can do unless a big steal is going to happen. Nunu obviously combining his smite and his Q. Roughly, as I'd say at this stage of the game, at least 1,000 execute range. Lovely Leona stun into the Z combo. At least 1,000 execute range on objectives right now, if not more. We actually may be able to check. We need vision of him because we're running on the vision that red team only. But yeah, overall, there's not much you can do in this situation. That is why, for those who are wondering, I am personally banning Nunu in every game. One, I find the champion a little bit obnoxious. Anybody can play the champion. You don't need to play Nunu in order to play him well. It's Nunu. And it's just, you know, when I'm playing a lot more jungle recently, do I really want to have like, oh, I'm playing really well, I'm beating the Nunu, but there's legit, if he gets into the Baron pit, there's nothing I can do if the Baron is at like, nice kill by Zed. If the Baron gets to about 1,500 health, the Nunu just literally out smites me because it's Nunu. That's just annoying, so I'm just like, ban, go away. Right. Cassiopeia looking for a big opportunity here. Does have ultimate up. You got Renekton above. Bardock coming through this. Potentially all in. Is anything going to come from it? Nothing. A nice Zed shadow to do damage while they were being distracted by the Graves in Bard ultimate. Meanwhile, this was happening. Shen was bringing the minion wave and the damage to the bottom tower. And they will go on the bottom inhibitor, making it 2. Nunu going for a full engage. Yasuo combo with the Nunu ball. Cassiopeia does a nice ultimate, stuns the Nunu. Yasuo will go down instantly. Cassiopeia picks up 1 kills. Bard goes for a... Well, Bard's trying to do damage. Meanwhile, Zed gets the kill with it, help with the Graves ultimate to finish off. And this overall probably is going to be the game. Shen goes for a taunt, doesn't get it. This Heimerdinger, if I'm honest, doesn't seem great. I personally probably wouldn't have chosen the turret In that situation, Grenade, I would imagine, would have been way more impactful when they're all clumping near towers, because, you know, his turret died instantly, and that will be the game. So overall, the Cassiopeia finishes 11, if the Renekton doesn't die, 11-6-9. I can also tell you she did the most damage in the game by a lot, like a lot. Zed does go down to the Heimerdinger, oddly, but she did the most damage in the game, and this does also show she had a pretty rough early game. She was getting kind of DPS down, mainly by the Bard, occasionally stunned by the Heimerdinger, but she just farmed. You can see there's a 50 farm difference. She farmed. She just did her job. She did damage, you know. A couple iffy things here and there, split pushing when she should have grouped to here, whatever. So little things just to like not do, but it is solo queue. It's not pro play, so it doesn't matter that much. But that is the strength of Cassiopeia. Do I think Conqueror is good on her? Yeah. Like, her damage output when Conqueror was proccing went really high, with then the healing on top of that. I think it's fantastic. So I do think it's her best rune, like Heimerdinger. You can see Heimerdinger this game also is running Conqueror, but he just got too punished. Like I mentioned, for a couple reasons. The Leona aggression playstyle, aggression build, just, I think, punished the Heimerdinger way too much. Yeah, Heimerdinger in a bit more of a passive lane that he can lane bully. Sure, but you're not lane bullying a Leona engage, then a Cassiopeia W, then you can't flash away. That's just too much for a Heimerdinger, really. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. This was Cassiopeia. I will probably play it in the next couple of days, so this was kind of me getting an idea of what it's supposed to do. I won't be playing it bot lane, because I, again, don't like mage bot lanes myself. We'll be playing it in mid, maybe top, probably mid. But that's going to be it. Like, subscribe. Let me know what champions you want to see down below. Are there any new kind of interactions with new runes, with Season 10 that you want me to try and find? Put them down below. I'll have a look through, and yeah. Again, mainly keeping to EU West as a server. I can stretch that if there's something very specific on North America, I guess. But yeah, that's going to be it. If you guys enjoy, throw a like on it, throw a subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.